All good. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Good afternoon, teachers. And now let us start off by saying I hope you had a good weekend. And let us then progress to sharing the screen. Here comes Lazat. Good. All right. Well, I'll start off by saying that there's only 3 of you there. And should I wait until everybody's here? I don't think so. I think that we start when we start. And I'll continue by saying that there have been a lot of discussions in FADE about how we are progressing and proceeding with our sessions together. And there are some issues here. There are some issues. And the issue is that there is not enough progress being made yet, discernible, with 1 or 2 possible exceptions, to justify the introduction of mathematics and science input. So that will not take place until I say to George, we're ready to go, because this requires timetabling, it requires management of capacity. And until I say to George, I think we're good to go, it's not going to happen. So this week, we will continue with a slightly accelerated program. I propose to increase the tempo and also increase what FADE is asking you to do as an evidence of your commitment to the process. So that's perfectly clear. I couldn't put it more clearly. And I thank you for your understanding. So now we're going to address the contents for today, and we're going to go through a lesson plan aimed at school students on computing. It's rather basic and simplistic in some ways, but the purpose for us is it's an opportunity to increase reading practice, listening, and also vocabulary. And I would say that vocabulary and conversation are the 2 main themes today. Bear in mind, in the back of your mind, that this Thursday is International Literacy Day, and that has some interesting topical relevance that you may or may not want to include in your own lessons. This is not just relevant for language teachers, it's relevant for all, because an issue of it is resourcing ourselves also from social media and the internet, and that's something that we all do. Okay, so bearing that in mind, let me clarify that today's aims are to develop fluency through a range of speaking activities and to introduce school-related vocabulary. Why that? Well, it's what we're talking about, but of course, it just so happens that last week we were back to school, offline, as the unexpected new appearance in the use of vocabulary is showing us. And the outcome should be that participants, that's you, will have practiced and developed fluency and vocabulary through a range of activities. So what we actually propose then is pretty much the following. So we're going to start with this. Is something that you can both work with and learn from today, but consider using at other times as you will. And I'd like to invite you, please, to read maybe just a short paragraph each and we get through. But what I'd like you to do is, with your pen and paper, make a note of any vocabulary that is unfamiliar. But please also note that there are deliberate mistakes, both of spelling and of grammar in this. So we'll talk about that afterwards and discuss the spelling, the errors, and other vocabulary implications. So the content will come as no surprise to you, but the English language is the measure of what we're doing. So I wonder, please, if I could ask, hello, Lazat, good afternoon to you. And could you please be so kind and read the title and first definition, please? Would that be so kind?
Thank you, Sir Tim. Good afternoon. The parts of a computer.
Good.
Warning, there are deliberate spelling and grammar mistakes in this text. Make notes. CD-ROM drive. This device reads data from a disk. These CDs look like a music CD, but hold data instead of musics.
Thank you, and very precisely delivered, Lazat. You know what I mean, and I thank you. Could I please invite Miss Anala to do the next paragraph?
Okay, CPU. CPU.
Yeah.
The CPU, or central processing unit, is the brain of the computer. Graphing card. The graphics card in the part is the part of the computer that sends the images to the monitor.
Correctly spotted, of course. Thank you very much. And Mr. President, good afternoon. Could you read the next two, please? Ms. Malajan?
Hello.
Good afternoon. Could you please read the next two?
A hard drive.
Yeah.
The hard drive is also called the hard disk. Perhaps you will never see it because it is inside your computer. The computer keeps files, programs, and documents there. Keyboard. This device is the most important way of inputting data into many programs.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rajan. On a pronunciation tip, one file, plural, two files. Okay, a bit like clothes, not clothes, but clothes. So one file, two files. Thank you very much. Ms. Lazard, could you do the next two, please?
Memory. This is a device that holds information in an electrical or magnetic form. There is two basic types: read-only memory, ROM, contains program data that never change, and the random access memory, RAM, contains program data that often change and are often accessed by the CPU. ROM and RAM are typically measured in megabytes MB. Modem. This device connects computer to a phone so that the user can access the internet.
Thank you very much. And Ms. Lazard, just a couple of tips there. We pronounce that letter R, so PQR, STUV, etc. And yes, we do say RAM, like you said, but RAM. And the other tip is where it says, oh yes. Now, do you remember, I'm sure you remember now, but how do you actually pronounce that word, please, Lazard?
Access it.
Think one more time, please.
Access it. Access it.
You're trying too hard there. One of the others, please. What is the correct pronunciation, and what is the rule behind it, please? Anna, could you say?
Yes, accessed.
And do you
accessed and
what is
yes, if before if end of the word is not D or T, then we say T.
Exactly. exactly. And we eliminate the sound. That's right. Thank you very much. Do you remember, Lazat, if it's T like bolted, then we pronounce it. But or D, seed, seeded, then we pronounce it. All other letters, we don't do that. And thank you very much. And I wonder, yes, Anna, could you please continue with the next?
Okay,
Monitor.
modem. This device connects the computer to a phone, so that the user can access the internet.
Good.
Monitor, an output device that shows you what you are doing.
Thank you very much, and we welcome Darkhan. Hello, Darkhan. Good afternoon. At the moment, this article has got some deliberate punctuation and spelling mistakes, but nonetheless, initially, we're just reading through some basic vocabulary on computing, as you will perfectly know, in order to commence our vocabulary work. Would you please read out the next two definitions? Darkhan, can you hear me? Let's then go back, please, to Marjan. Would you mind, Marjan, please, the next two?
Yes.
Thank you.
Monitor,
Yeah.
an output device that shows you what you are doing.
Good.
Motherboard. The motherboard is a circuit board that everything in the computer plugs into.
Very good, very good. We pronounce that circuit. It's a strange word, circuit.
Circuit.
Yes. And the next one, please, Marjan. Mouse.
Mouse. The mouse is another input device. It is good for moving and pointing to objects on the screen.
Very good, Marjan, very good. You have improved a lot. Don't forget the Russian English problem of pronouncing that as an A. We don't do that. It's objects, not
Objects.
Yeah, please, thank you. And now maybe, Darkhan, are you switched into audio now? Can you speak to us? Then let me ask Anala, please, if you could be so kind.
Oh, okay. A printer is an essential part of the computer if you want to see your work on paper.
And scanner?
A scanner is useful if you are working with lots of pictures or photos. It can copy written documents, pictures, or photos into your computer.
And finally, please, could you finish off with sound?
Sound card. Your computer uses the device to play music, sounds, and voices. Make sure you have a sound card if you are planning to play multimedia games.
Thank you.
If you're planning to play multimedia games.
Well self-corrected and nicely read. Thank you very much. So let's have a look then. So often students wonder, and teachers wonder too, I think, perhaps, why we are asked to predict some of the words that we might find. For example, if we know we're going to read about computers, we might reasonably expect to find words like hard drive, keyboard, scanner, sound card, etc. So predicting language that you expect when you have a limited amount of time is very efficient. It can help you understand when you read. It speeds up. It also helps assimilation. When you predict wrongly, you think, oh, and you remember the correction. And when you predict correctly, it consolidates, which is very helpful. So now, at the moment, it says work in small groups, but of course we, oh, I see, Anna, are Oh, okay. All right. You must have a problem on one device, but you have succeeded on the other. No problem. Let me just check one more time. Darkhan, are you with us, Darkhan? Are you with us? Seemingly not. Okay. Well, what I'd like to ask, please, Ms. Lazat, Ms. Anna, and Ms. Marjan to do is just write down on paper as many words that you know in English related to computers. If you know 30 or 40 words, then obviously it's not necessary, but maybe 5 or 6 or 8 or 10, just take a minute, please, to write down as many words as you know in English related to computers. And I'll send a message to Darkhan in the meantime and ask.
We can see at the screen these words.
You can see?
We can see, yes, keyboard, CD-ROM at the right.
Oh, I see. Yes, that's okay. You can use, if you use those, then they are extra free. But see if you can think of any other words. Thank you for that comment, Anna. Very good. Extra words. I mean, you might have connected words like power cable, plug, CD, case, internet, anything like that.
Joystick.
Tell me, Marjan.
Joystick.
Yes. And any more?
We have to say another words.
Yes, please.
Laptop.
Good. See, Marjan.
We have to write down. We have to write down.
Well, no, you can just tell me.
Tell system unit.
Nice.
ROM.
Good.
RAM.
You say plum.
RAM.
A RAM. Okay. Try this one. RAM.
RAM.
That's it. That's the A sound. Good, Lazan. Anything else? We've got
Can.
Can. What is can?
Hard disk.
Oh, hard disk. Yes. There's that. You said can.
Scan.
How do you spell that?
Yes,
Scanner.
Oh, scan. Scan.
Yeah, scanner.
Yes, scan or scanner. Absolutely. Okay. Any more words and we can move on. Okay, that's good. So let's just come to the top of the page. So we have read the categories. All right, so let's just have a look then momentarily and say, what is this?
Monitor.
Yes.
Monitor.
Yes, some might say screen, but yes, monitor. And what is this?
CD card.
DVD, maybe DVD.
Maybe both. It's not writing, but let's see.
Memory. DVD memory.
Maybe you could say slot. So where you put it in, or drawer sometimes, or tray. That's the word, tray. Yeah.
And also we see keyboard and mouse.
Keyboard and mouse, exactly. Thank you very much. So now some true or false. From the definitions, if you remember them, if you want to read the definitions again, just tell me. But is this true or false? A CD,
False.
because?
It's not sounds, it's disk. It's a read disk.
Good, it's read only. So there's nothing in it, in fact, but you're right, it's false. Nothing in it that is recordable. Or
Yes, it's second also true. True.
True.
second,
Yeah. Yes.
true. Yes, it is. Although we can say that it is possible to have an external hard drive, but yes,
Mhm.
it's on the inside. And number 3, please,
True.
because
Map rap in the rope. I
Ram
know.
and Rom.
Yeah,
Ram
Ram
and Rom.
Yes.
Anna, sorry, or was it Marjan? Anna, did you say?
Ram and Rom. Two.
Oh,
Two
right.
types of memory.
Yes. So what about number 4? Oh, right. Okay. Number 3. Okay. The computer has 2 different types of memory, RAM and ROM. That's right. Sorry, my mistake. Number 4.
It's true.
It's true.
Copy of our work on paper. Yes.
Exactly.
Not on paper. Electronic copy.
Yes. I think here the problem is maybe if I did this, when you understand that the work is on paper and it can make okay, so in that sense, you can say it's false, right? Because the scanner itself holds a digital copy and not a hard copy. Good point, good point. Number 5, you can't listen to music if you haven't got a sound.
Yes, it's true.
True, because
sound card given sounds.
yeah, absolutely. All right, now let's move on.
If you have sound card, you can listen to music.
Yes, but if you haven't,
Here, if you haven't got,
then
the
you
sound.
right, yeah.
Mhm.
So no sound card, no music. And here we have about the listening we will hear, but not yet. Do you think number 1 statement is true or false? Could you read it, please, Marjan?
The first calculator.
Yes, please.
The first calculator worked with the 6 numbers.
Do you think that's true or false?
Maybe, I don't know. First calculator?
Yeah.
I think it's false.
Okay.
Why 6 number?
Yeah, I know.
Here, in listening, maybe we should the first listen about it.
That's a very good answer, Lazat. That's a very good suggestion. I mean, of course, you could say, when was the first calculator? Do they mean electronic? Do they mean abacus from ancient Egypt? Or what do they mean? It depends. And we will hear. What about this? Number 2. Somebody can read for me, please.
Maybe.
What, maybe? Can you read, please?
The first modern calculator was invented by a German.
So it wouldn't surprise us, would it? It wouldn't surprise us, maybe. So we've got a maybe and a maybe. Number 3. Marjan? Or Anna?
In the 1916s,
Yeah.
a mini computer cost around 12,000 pounds.
Well identified, the pound sign. And at that time, that would have been about $50,000, if you can imagine, at that time. At this time, $12,000 would be more like 20,000. That's how much the pound sterling has weakened against the US dollar in the last 40 to 50 years. Number 4, Anna?
Microsoft began in the 1970s. 1970s.
True or false?
Maybe. I think it's true.
Okay. It's better when you pick true or false. Maybe is a safe answer. But all right. Number 5, please, Lazat.
By 1989, Microsoft were making $10 billion. I think it's not possible.
I agree. It doesn't sound reasonable, does it? And in fact, number one is true. The first calculator did work with 6 numbers. Number two is also true. I forget his name, Van Dinkenhart or something like that. No, Konrad Zuse, that's right. And then Microsoft began in the 1970s. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Number 5, Microsoft were making $10 billion. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So in terms of writing, is an interesting tip here on effective writing. And I wonder, please, if somebody could read it out. Anybody?
Writing 3 drafts. On a computer, it is much easier to change what you've written. It's correct?
Yes, you've
written. Written. Look at your reading 3 times. First, quickly read.
We've got the verb is to write, and this one is writing, and this one is write. So only written changes the pronunciation of the I. So on a computer, it's much easier to change what you've written. That's true.
Okay.
First, yes, please.
First, quickly write down your ideas, then go back and organize them into logical paragraphs. Finally, go back again and check the spelling, grammar, and the punctuation.
Good. I think it's true, isn't it? On a computer, we can change, we can spell check, we can improve the style, we can cut out words that we have used perhaps too many of or not appropriately. So now, this is now a question of putting the sentences into 3 groups. So getting new software, problems with installing, and Jason is obviously a friend of the writer. So category number 1, getting new software. Category number 2, problems with installing. Category number 3, my friend Jason. So sentence number 1, which category do you say that belongs in? When I first install new software, there are often problems. Is that?
This is the second category.
Yes, problems with installing. That's right. And number 2, please. Maybe you could read it, Anna, for everybody to comment.
Sometimes the new program won't run because of a program that is already installed on my computer. Maybe a second problem with installing.
Getting new software.
Getting new.
Getting new software, yes, because new program.
That's true. That's true. A program is software, isn't it?
Hello, Mr. Tim.
Hello, Darkan.
I'm sorry, I was kicked out from the conference, and now I'm sitting with the desert.
Ah, okay, okay. We saw you apparently there, but obviously you weren't hearing or participating. All right.
Sorry, Mr. Tim, I want to warn you.
Yes, please.
I have to disconnect it after 15 minutes because I have extra lesson.
I understand. I understand.
And then in the end of the English course, I have to this lesson, your lesson. In the end of your lesson, I have to pass out too because I have a meeting.
Right, right. Noted, Anna. Thank you. So you'll be leaving at about 1/4 to the hour, right? So
yeah.
All right, and you cannot come back today. Oh,
No, I will back, but maybe 30 minutes.
Oh.
I will hear.
all right. Okay. Thank you for the information. Thank you. All right. So for Darkhan and Balal's benefit, we're concentrating on, because you came late for different reasons, we're concentrating on vocabulary and also computing terminology and concept. And also, I would like to repeat the information which I gave to colleagues, that with one or two exceptions, unfortunately, there's not enough progress being made so far, which is delaying the introduction of the specialist teachers in science and mathematics. That is still coming, but Mr. George wants my notification that we're ready to do that. And I have said, of course, fine, we'll do that, just to be absolutely clear and open about these things. Thank you for the information, Anna, and we continue. So now, item 3, I can't remember where you came in, Darkhan. So we're looking at 3 categories: getting new software, problems with installation or installing, and my apparent friend Jason, my virtual friend Jason. Which category does I usually ask my friend Jason to help? Well, obviously, he belongs in the category Jason. But paragraph 4, anybody could read it and tell me which category, please. Anybody at all?
I usually ask my friend Jason to help. It's the 3rd category. Jason.
It is. And number 4, please.
I love getting new software for my computer. I think it's getting new software. It's obvious. It's so
obvious. It's like, is 2 + 2 = 4? How much is 2 + 2? Well, it's 4. Yes, but the purpose is sometimes ridiculously obvious, because it conceals the fact that it's using the vocabulary and the terminology. Darkhan, number 5, please.
I really love it if it is a new game. So also getting new software.
Yes, and number 6 is pretty obvious too. It belongs to Jason, so we'll move on, but thank you. Now, we've got a question of reordering sentences correctly. But firstly, let's just come to number 9 and do some dialogue completion of the gaps. Again, the emphasis is we're not checking your intelligence here, is we're practicing the language and the vocabulary. So maybe
let me be Archie.
Yeah, you want to be Archie. Go ahead for it. Go. Yes.
How do we find out more about these campsites?
All right, Valauza, could you please be Robert?
Also left.
I think Balsa has a lesson.
Yes, of course.
So,
I'll be Robert. This page is too general. Let's see if any of them had their own web pages.
okay. And I think we can do, what should we do? We should take a sentence from the
box
here, yeah?
Yeah, so let's see if any of them have their own web pages, and you say, how do we do that? Okay. Yeah, exactly. Look, this one's called Port Miriam Camping. Type that name into the search engine.
Like this?
Yeah, and now you can be Robert, please.
No, you have to put the cursor in. Did I read correct, cursor?
Well, cursor is standard pronunciation. So yes, please, cursor. Thank you for self-checking.
In that box first, click on it with the mouse.
That's right. And don't forget, at your higher level, click on it. You remember the linking, click on it. You understand? So you run the sounds together, click on it.
Click on it.
Perfect, perfect. And actually, while in that area, we can do this one as well. Does anybody know how that sounds said quickly? You link the end of the there with the beginning of the always. How do you do that? Anybody suggest? Maybe you know it intuitively.
They're always underlined.
Absolutely. They're always underlined. And another one, no, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you. So maybe, Anna, maybe now you could be Archie, Anna, since his name begins with A and yours begins with A. Would you read from here, please?
How do we find out more about these camp cities?
Не, вот Archie, oh yes, of course.
Вот это уже прочитали. Oh,
Да.
yes, of course. Okay, I've got another list of web pages.
Look at that.
Yes, please.
Look at the URL as.
We would say URLs. URLs. It's a strange mixture.
URLs. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
The
URL.
what?
Yes, quite.
The address of
what?
the page. The addresses of the web pages. Look something other. They are always underlined.
Good.
This one says www.portmiriancamping.com.
Click on that.
This is great. It tells me all about the beach, the price, and everything. It even shows you what the weather's like there. Now, look.
Excellent intonation, both of you. Thank you very much. So now let's listen to the track itself. That's going to be difficult because it's not cooperating. So we'll just go back 1 second, please, while I seek the file.
Five. The development of computers is linked to maths. It's possible to say that computers first started with the invention of the abacus in Babylonia, now Iraq, in the 4th century BC. Wilhelm Schickard, a German professor, built the first calculator in 1623, but it only worked with 6 numbers. The German Konrad Zuse made the first modern calculator in 1941. Colossus was a British computer which was used for breaking codes. It began working in 1943. The next step towards the modern computer was the Universal Automatic Computer, which was developed in 1951. It could store 12,000 numbers and letters. In the 1960s, a typical mini-computer cost around $20,000. Not many people could buy a computer then. They were too expensive. Word processing was invented in 1968 by Doug Engelbart. The computer giant Microsoft began its life in the 1970s. By 1977, the computer company Apple was selling computers for $1,195. The IBM computer was released in 1981, and the Apple Macintosh was on sale in 1984. The computer program Microsoft Windows 1.0 was in the shops in 1985. By 1989, Microsoft's sales reached $1 billion.
So, let's surprise.
Activity 9.
How do we find out more about these campsites?
This page is too general. Let's see if any of them have their own web pages.
Okay, how do we do that?
Look, this one's called Port Merian Camping. Type that name into the search engine.
Like this?
No, you have to put the cursor in that box first. Click on it with the mouse.
Oh, yes, of course. Okay, I've got another list of web pages.
Look at the URLs,
The what?
the addresses of the web pages. Look, they're always underlined.
This one says www.portmeriancamping.com.
Click on that.
This is great. It tells me all about the beach, the price and everything. It even shows you what the weather's like there now. Look.
Nice musical flourish at the end. And now a little test, just a little test of your ability to find synonyms or parallel phrases. Can any of you think of a different way of saying click on that? What is a different way to mean exactly the same thing?
Press on that.
Press on that, yes? Or press that key?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And as I think Anada said so nicely, like this, with the intonation going up. How else can you say like this?
Is this correct?
Good. Anybody else have an alternative?
Like this.
Yes, an alternative to like this. How else can you say like this?
Similar to. Similar. Can
Yeah.
I
Yes.
say similar to? Similar.
Similar to this? Yes, that works, Marjan. Yes, that's right. Or maybe typically we would say, do you mean in this way, in this manner? There are many alternatives. And then a little bit more complicated to use different words. Type Portmerian or whatever, what was the word? Camping, I can't remember. Type Portmerian camping into the search engine. How could you say that differently? Any suggestions?
What about Mr. Tim?
Last one.
How can you say type into the search engine? So for example, if I say to you, if I say to Darkan, please type camp into the search engine, can you find a different way to say that? Lazat?
Fill that box.
Say that again, Darkan.
Fill that. No, it's kind of fill that box or fill that row. To fill, not type.
That's
Is
good.
it-
That's good. That's good. Now you said box, which is very specific, and you could point to it visually. That box there. No, not this box, that box. But can you think of a synonym or parallel phrase for search engine?
Search system.
So system is good. And what about search? What do you think? Difficult. Anada? Oh, Anada's gone now, I think. Have you gone, Anada? Yes. Any idea, Darkan, how differently you could put a search engine?
I'm thinking, but I have no idea.
Could you say app, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
And a synonym for search would be to seek, or,
Yeah.
maybe you could, it's a bit clumsy, maybe you could say something like the app which researches answers to your question. Does that sound feasible? Because you normally ask a question or you key in a word. Yes, the app which seeks answers to your question or synonyms for your keyed in words, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, tell me.
Explore system. Explore system.
I like that, Marjan. I like that. Let's go on now. Here, there is something which I think is probably more appropriate for homework, and I think I will send it. I think it can amuse you. It's not so complicated, but with what we did in exercise 1, from either your existing knowledge or what we looked at, let me just go back briefly to number 1. This was the piece with all of the mistakes in it. Okay, but using the vocabulary, so I'm talking about CD-ROM drive, I'm talking about CPU, graphics card, and all that sort of thing. Let's just go back to page 4. What do you think? Ms. Marjan, number 1, what do you think? Use the what to click on the left. Dr. you can help.
You can use the mouse to click on that on the left.
Absolutely. Let's try number 2 on Marjan also, please. Ms. Marjan, could you try number 2? There isn't.
Oh, I know that.
I know. So are you there, Ms. Marjan? Are you there? What do you think?
Scan it, print.
Printer.
Printer. Like
Printer.
Printer. There isn't any paper in the printer because you don't actually put paper in the scanner, do you? You could print out from the scanner through the printer. Okay. That's that. Number 3, please.
I can't save that file. It is too big. I haven't got enough memory on my computer.
Good. Lazat, don't forget, please, that the contraction it is to it's okay to say it's. So we know it means it is, but if we see it is printed it's, then we say it's. But you're absolutely right. Anybody, number 4, please.
Something's wrong with her computer. The screen has gone.
We would say that, wouldn't we? The word in the text was monitor, but we would say the screen.
Or monitor. Yeah, or monitor. Yeah.
Yeah. But normally you were right first time. We would say that. Number 5, please, everybody.
You can use the scan to get information for the school project.
Well, normally when you use Yandex or Google, where are you going? You are leaving your computer and going to, or going on, you are surfing the
Modem.
Well, you're going beyond the modem, through the modem, into the wonderful world of the.
You can use that to get information for the school project.
It's the internet.
Internet.
I think you were making it too difficult for yourself. It's just the internet. And finally, number 6.
If we had, we could copy this document. Scanner.
No, it's correct.
Yes, we would need to type in. Scanner, yeah?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Very good. And thank you. All right. So now, now we're talking about an exercise which would be difficult to do by handwriting. So let's just go through the errors verbally. And we've got Lazat, Dargan, and Marjan here. Okay, so maybe Marjan, do you see any mistakes in this paragraph? Any mistakes? Spelling, grammar? Maybe nothing, maybe yes.
Here,
Yes, please, in blue. Any mistakes?
no,
Correct.
I don't.
Marjan, what about this paragraph? Any mistakes?
Musics.
Yes, and of course it's rather funny because the word program is actually underlining it with red. But what should
Music.
I must try and switch that off another time. Yes, you're right, music. Lazat, you can see that here it's not a Brian of a computer. What should it be?
What it's
Brain.
wrong?
Brain.
Yes, I see brain.
You don't see brain, you see.
Yes, A.
Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
And what should it write? How can you spell it, please?
We letter.
Yes, please.
Yes, changing two letters. The first A and second R.
Yeah, so B-R-A-I-N. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Images, yes.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
A-G-E-S.
Exactly.
D, it's, yes, the listening.
That's right. And what about here? Any mistakes?
No.
What do you think, Doc?
I should read.
Tell me. You see a mistake, Doc?
Let me finish. Inside of your computer, maybe.
Well, in fact, depending on whether you're looking through English eyes or American eyes, there's probably no mistake. Inside of is a correct alternative to inside, but inside is good. I'm glad you're being forensic. I'm glad you're being a police detective, though, Darkan. So you're looking, and of course, the English spelling of program normally is M-M-E-S, but in computer language, GB English, UK English adopts the American spelling because I guess the whole world of computers really got large in America. So, Dr. if you could look at the next one, please, keyboard, and then read it out to me. And then at the end of that, I'll go up to the top of the next column.
Keyboard. This device is the most important way of inputting data into many programs. Okay.
Now, is there a mistake there or not?
No.
Can I?
Комма деген. Запятая лишний один.
Yes, Marjan. And what is the problem with the comma?
Punctuation.
Should not be there. Should not be there.
Yes.
Comma links to clauses, phrases. This is an interruption in the middle of a sentence. Well done, Marjan. I think, Darkan, you were looking for something a bit bigger than the comma. And the comma, such a little thing. Who said that? Lazat, could you try memory, please?
Yeah.
Read or
Yes.
find mistakes.
Find, well, both. Read and find mistakes.
This is a device that holds information in an electrical or magnetic form. There is two basic types. Read-only memory, ROM, contains program data that never change. And random access memory, RAM, contains program data that often change and are often accessed.
Lazat, accessed.
Yes, accessed by.
Not a T or a D, right? Not a T or a D. Carry on, please. Continue.
Accessed.
Good.
Accessed by the CPU, ROM, and RAM.
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 Good.
RAM are typically measured in megabytes. It's incorrect. Measured.
Yes. What?
Yes. It's
What?
measured.
How? What is wrong?
Together Z, we have
Instead
to
of-
write.
instead of-
Yeah, instead of Z, we have to write J.
Yes.
S,
Aha.
S,
See,
S.
S.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
What-
yeah.
yeah, thank-
S, yeah.
Thank
But we read measure.
Good. Now, there are several other mistakes in the paragraph. Can anybody tell me the first one?
There are two basic types.
Good. Marjan. Next mistake.
Instead of is, you must put are. There are two basic types.
You are right.
Two are basic types.
That-
Really.
that's right. And the next mistake? What do you think, anybody? The next mistake?
We find two mistakes and
We found two, and there are more.
So data, is it plural form? I think yes, yeah. Can we use?
It is plural.
So
Because
if it is not so, it must be never changes, yeah?
absolutely right. Now, data or data, originally the word came from Latin, and it means given things, or we can say facts, information. And because it's plural, one singular in Latin is datum, and plural is data. But most people would not know that. But I think there's about 15% Latin origin words in English language, particularly in the sciences, So if you said never changes, probably people would not even notice it because it would sound to English language is correct. But technically that is correct. What about this hyphen here between random access? Correct or incorrect? It's a compound noun, or is it? Sorry, yes?
Don't know. It's look like it should be there, yeah? Or it should be written together without that.
Yeah, or it could be that you say if you've got a hyphen here, you could require a hyphen there. And their opinions vary. My opinion is it doesn't belong there. But what we do know is that there's another mistake still to come, which we haven't identified. Can you find it? There's one more mistake. It's a very small mistake, if I can give you a help, a clue.
This are деген немен үйретіп тұрған дәрісі? And are деген что это? Without are да? Here. Often
Is it on the last?
and
What did you say, Duncan? Sorry.
Is it in the last sentence or?
Actually, I realize it might not be clear. What do you see here between CPU? What punctuation symbol do you see?
After that, there is a dot.
Okay, on mine there's two dots. Well, in that case, we can ignore that because it's a screen glitch. Let's go.
Okay, I think.
We'll go on to modem, please. Anybody tell me the mistake in modem? It's a bit
Connect.
more good. Should not have apostrophe, right? Do you call
yes.
it apostrophe in Russian? What do you call it in Russian?
Also apostrophe.
Okay. And then there's another mistake.
To computer to a phone. So
Okay. The problem is capital I for internet. Internet is not a proper noun. It's not a proper name. It's not a place. It's not a city. It's not a name. And now, what about monitor? Monitor is okay. What?
Qozg'ama. Mouth and motherboard circuit.
Yes, how should it be written? How should it be spelled?
Change two letters.
Which two, Marjan?
U and I.
The other way round, yes?
First you. First Y, U, then I.
Perfect. Okay. Next paragraph.
Essential.
In fact, this one is okay. Essential is wrong. What is the correct spelling, please? What's that?
Instead of Z, S. Essential.
C.
Another letter, in fact, another letter.
T, essential.
Good, Marjan. Yes, T. So it looks like essential, but actually is pronounced essential.
Essential.
And then finally, let me just, who is, okay, it's difficult to see how to mute. I don't think that I can realize this. Okay, well, that was looking at computer language, and it was also a lot of vocabulary checking, spelling checking, and also speaking and pronunciation. Now, this Thursday, changing the topic, is International Literacy Day. International Literacy Day, I believe it started maybe 4 years ago, and it's usually on September the 8th. And I'm just going to change screen over so we can look at International Literacy Day. Now, I wonder, please, we've got just Lazat and Marjan now. So here is a big poster, International Literacy Day. And I wonder, please, Marjan, could you read the title?
Fostering literacy skills in a digital world.
Thank you. Do you know what it means, fostering?
Fostering.
Or Lazat, do you know?
Draw in a.
It means helping to develop, helping to grow, like a mother or a father, but not a mother or a father. And in the educational world, fostering, in a way, is what you're doing every day. Yeah,
fostering is presenting.
It's being like a parent. It's being like a parent or being like a gardener, helping to grow, helping to develop. What do you do every day as a teacher? You are helping your students to grow. You are in the place of a parent, in a way. You are an educational parent, an educational mother, if you like. So, Lazat, could you please read out here? Lazat, are you there?
Yes, September 8th.
Correct.
8th is International Literacy Day, and this year's theme is literacy in a digital world. The essentials of reading, writing, and communicating have remained in many ways steady for generations, but the proliferation of technology in daily life brings significant changes. Significant changes for students and teachers. Today's young readers will see many shifts in the mediums and the methods they use to consume produce and share written
Good.
content. These changes have implications that educators need to acknowledge, analyze, and weave into literacy teaching strategies.
Good.
While there are many changes yet to come that we can't predict, quite a few are already relevant in present learning expressions. To honor International Literacy Day and take a closer look at this year's theme, we've outlined 3 ways literacy is impacted by a digital world.
Thank you very much. Lazat, up here, this word, theme, looks like them, but it's actually theme, okay?
Theme. Mm-hmm.
A theme is like a topic or a central idea, a main idea, okay? And then this word here is relevant. Can you please say relevant?
Relevant.
The emphasis is on the re, so we can say, excuse me, relevant.
Relevant.
Good, thank you. And then this word here was experiences. Experiences. Thank you. And then the last one is, the last word there is pronounce honor. So we don't pronounce the H. So honor also is true with words like honest, honesty, hour, meaning the time. So often in English, the letter H at the beginning of the word is not pronounced. But very good, thank you. And I wonder if you're back, Dadakan, could you please read the next paragraph?
Let me try.
Yes.
What students read?
Why do you say
write,
that? Carry on, yes.
What students read, write, and share has a wider reach than ever. Perhaps the most exciting impact of the technology on the literacy education is an element of connectivity. Students can find fun fiction and writing fun fiction written by a peer in another country on the internet, or get retweeted by a thought leaders across the world on the Twitter. The content that they consume, create and share has a nearly instantaneous global reach, and they have access. Did I read correct?
You did.
Access to ideas, stories, and perspectives that they never would have touched without digital connectivity. Teachers can capitalize on the connectivity by encouraging students to consider experiences expressed in writings of the people who are different from them, and help them practice engaging in a productive conversations. Teachers can also use digital connectivity to stress the importance of the strong literacy skills.
Good.
Without ability to clearly, effectively, and compellingly,
yes, good,
convey their thoughts, students' voices will easily be drowned out in a digital world.
Thank you.
Or drowned.
Yeah, it's owl sound, drowned.
Drowned.
So So thank you, Dalakan. Firstly, how do you think you pronounce this word?
Which one?
The one that's in blue.
Oh,
Can you-
express it.
Can anybody help, Dalakan?
Express it. Express it.
Express it.
Exactly,
Express.
expressed. Do you remember, Dalakan?
I don't know.
If the verb
Express.
before, exactly. If the verb or the word before the ed ends in a T or a D, then we say ed. But all other combinations, we don't. We lose the E, and often the D becomes a T. So expressed. In fact, usually. Now, I mean, Dalakan, you're a pretty good reader and your level's really pretty good. So you won't mind me telling you that I've noticed something rather interesting with the word the. I think you have a love-hate relationship with the word the. And what I mean is sometimes it's there and you don't say it, and sometimes it's not there and you do say it.
Yes, I do that. I don't know why.
I mean, we all have these strange little things, don't we, that make us think, what is going on? So if you already know that, then I suppose all I can say is perhaps you can try and stop it. But I mean, it's easier said than done, these things, because
Yes.
if they are subconscious, then I understand, it can be a problem. So there was that. And the other one here was another example of the ED. So we would actually say drowned. Now, there, we don't say drowned, which is interesting, isn't it? Because here we say expressed, although it's a D, but here we say drowned. And I think the reason for that is that English mouths or English mother tongue mouths find it more difficult to say drowned, and therefore it comes out as drowned. And one of the things with connected pronunciation, which I'll mention again in a moment, is it helps people speak fast, more quickly. So for example, here, yes, so linking the end consonants of one word with the beginning vowels of the next word is what helps us to speak much more quickly. So the example here would be drowned out in. There's nothing more like that in that sentence. So if I said it quickly, I would say something like this: be drowned out in the digital world. Be drowned out in the digital world. And there are, in fact, many examples. So if we look back here, can anybody see where maybe we can link the consonant at the end of one word with the vowel at the beginning of the following word? Can you see an example? I can see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can see 8, but that includes 2 things I haven't mentioned to you yet. Can you see where you might link the sounds together? Anybody at all? Marjan, what do you think? If you have no idea, you can tell me, but have a look and have a think and see.
I don't understand your question. Can you repeat?
Yes, if we look at the last line here, drowned out. So we don't say drowned out, we link them and we say drowned out.
Drowned out.
Go drowned out in. So the D joins with the O and the T joins with the I. Drowned out in.
drowned out in the digital works.
So if we use the same idea, and that idea is you combine the consonant at the end of a word with the vowel at the beginning of the next one, what can you see here? Let me show you the first example.
Perhaps the most exciting impact. I don't know. Perhaps the most exciting impact.
Now, I have cut everybody's microphone off because their voices are louder than mine and yours. So when you would like to speak, Marjan, please do just switch your microphone on again. But I didn't actually hear what you said, but I wanted to say, perhaps the most exciting impact and impact.
Perhaps the most exciting
Yes,
exciting impact of
yeah, and look here, technology on.
Technology on.
And here, literacy education.
Literacy education. Literacy education.
Education, literacy education.
Literacy education. Literacy education.
And education is education is.
Literacy education is.
Good. Here is a new one, the element. We put in
the element.
Yes.
The element of connectivity.
And we have two. We put in the elephant. I see. And so that one is it's not allowing me, and it will because I insist. Okay, you can see the element becomes the element, and element of becomes element of. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to read the full sentence and also ask Lazat and maybe, oh, Igadim. Hello, Igadim. I didn't see you there. Are you here?
Hello, Mr. Prim. Yes, I'm here.
Could you read that sentence quickly for me, please, Igadim, as fast as you can? It probably is that you will link automatically the sounds. Please read it quite quickly.
Perhaps the most exciting impact of technology on literacy education is the element of connectivity.
Perfect, perfect. Marjan, Lazat, did you hear, Darkhan, if you're there, did you hear how Igadim linked perhaps the most exciting impact of technology on literacy education is the element of connectivity? I exaggerate there. Of course, it sounds stupid. But the advantage is, if you pronounce the individual sounds correctly, this way you can speak 50% faster, 70% faster, 100% faster, maybe so fast that people will say, whoa, 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 slow down, please, slow down. And that's probably similar in Russian, or for all I know, Kazakh. There will be tricks and tips that people use unconsciously, subconsciously, because it's your mother tongue. And it's a very good thing to do. I just put that there. Let me just, for the sake of this one here. So let's ask Lazak. Lazak, could you please try that sentence faster, linking them together?
Perhaps the most exciting impact of technology on literacy education is the element of connectivity.
Thank you. And could you, Ms. Marjan, could you try now, please? Perhaps. One more time.
Perhaps the most exciting impact of technology on literacy education is the element of connectivity.
You see, it sounds better. It sounds good. It's made you laugh. It sounds strange, but it's perfectly correct. Let's see if Darkan is back with us. Darkan, are you available at the moment? Are you there, Darkan? Well, let's ask maybe Aigelim if she can shock us with the speed with which she can read the rest of the paragraph. Would you be so kind, Aigelim? Are you there, Aigelim?
Yes, I am here.
Are you ready to run like an Olympic athlete through this paragraph?
Okay. Students can find fan fiction written by a peer in another country on the internet or get retweeted by a thought leader across the world on Twitter. The content that they consume, create, and share has a nearly instantaneous global reach, and they have access to ideas, stories, and the perspectives that they never would have touched without digital connectivity. Teachers can capitalize on this connectivity by encouraging students to consider the experience expressed in writings of people who are different from them and help them practice engaging in productive conversations. Teachers can also use digital connectivity to stress the importance of strong literacy skills without the ability to clearly, effectively, and compellingly convey their thoughts. Students' voice will easily be drowned out in the digital world.
Very, very good. I mean, what should I say? But well done, well done. I think that I'm going to ask for one more volunteer to try the same exercise and try and be fast and accurate. So, Lazat, would you like to try?
Okay.
Thank you. Hang on. It's here we are, isn't it? It was starting from. Now, the important thing, the key is to relax and enjoy yourself, but concentrate. Okay. So have fun and please, off you go.
I start the content or students?
Where's students? Oh, yes.
Good. Students can find fan fiction written by a peer in another country on the internet or get retweeted by the thoughts leader across the world on Twitter. The content that they consume, create, and share has a nearly instantaneous global reach, and they have access to ideas, stories, and perspective that they never would have touched without digital connectivity. Teachers can capitalize on this connectivity by encouraging students to consider the experiences expressed in connectivity to stress the importance of strong literacy skills. Without the ability to clearly, effectively, and compellingly convey their thoughts, students' voices will easily be drowned out in the digital world.
Lazat, how do you pronounce that word, please?
Drowned.
Yes. Well done. Listen, I'm English, okay? So what do you expect? But I'm going to read it as fast as I can and see if you can hear the links that I make, and then we'll move on, because I think you've worked hard enough on this. Here we go. Perhaps the most exciting impact of technology on literacy education is the element of connectivity. Students can find fan fiction written by a peer in another country on the internet or get retweeted by a thought leader across the world on Twitter. The content that they consume, create, and share has a nearly instantaneous global reach, and they have access to ideas, stories, and perspectives that they never would have touched without digital connectivity. Teachers can capitalize on this connectivity by encouraging students to consider the experiences expressed in writings of people who are different from them and help them practice engaging in productive conversations. Teachers can also use digital connectivity to stress the importance of strong literacy skills. Without the ability to clearly, effectively, and compellingly convey their thoughts, students' voices will easily be drowned out in the digital world. Now, I would not expect you to be able to read quite that quickly yet, but maybe by next week, maybe. So anyway, that was fun and also instructive, and I hope has really reinforced the idea of linking the ends of words with the beginning of the next word when you can. You can't do it all of the time. You probably can't do it 70% of the time, but I think you can do it 50% of the time. And the key is consonant at the end of one word and vowel at the beginning of the other, with one extra, which is sometimes we put in a y where there isn't one, like here. The element becomes the element. And there is, in fact, one other example as well, which is Starhan's favorite word, the. If we have the word the followed by a word beginning with a vowel, like the owner of this car is, becomes, let's say Edward, and it helps make the point. And listen to this. The owner of this car is Edward. And actually, yes, there's another example as well. But in fact, I think that for today, that's probably more than enough. Well done, everybody. Well done. I'm just going to move over to, well, actually, I have a little bit of business to talk first, which is we need, there are 2 or 3 teachers who still need to do the one-to-one 4-minute chat. So please send me a message, tim.lam@fayday.com, when you're ready to do that. And the other thing is we need new LMS activity, please. So for later in this week, could we have a volunteer for both Thursday and Friday? And indeed tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, please. So actually, there's not so many of us here at the moment, but has anybody here not yet done the LMS-based presentation? Laura, did you do one already? Forgive me if you did and I've forgotten. Laura, did you do one? An LMS presentation?
No, I didn't do the presentation.
I can't. I heard enough to hear you say that you didn't. Thank you, but I can't hear you very well. Are you able to prepare just a 4-minute presentation, maybe for Wednesday or Thursday or Friday this week?
Okay, I think.
Thank you. Which day do you choose?
I don't know Mr. Kim because we each day create a new team table and so before my presentation.
I'm sorry. Can anybody, Laura, Ms. Laura, I can't hear you very well. Can anybody else hear Laura better? What is she saying? Can you tell me, please?
And we also can't hear.
Oh, you can't hear either. Laura, maybe you could send a chat. I can't see which day you're proposing. Or can you repeat it loud and slow?
Okay, let me again.
Лаура, может, чатқа жазасыз? Даусыңыз нашар естіліп тұр.
Қазір де естілмей тұр ма?
Иә, сондай жай естіледі.
Әрең естіліп тұр.
Қазір мен былай айтсам болады.
Даусыңыз естілмейді, в общем.
Былай естіле ма?
Oh, Laura, I think I hear you, Laura. Which day are you suggesting, or did you?
Can you hear me?
Now I can, yes. Hello.
Okay. I can presentation show in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I don't know our timetable because each day creates a new timetable.
Ah, okay.
So
Well,
that's
can
why.
let's suggest Wednesday, but if your timetable prevents you, then we can roll it forward. So we intend Wednesday if your timetable permits it. If not, then we go for Thursday. Is it okay?
Okay.
Thank
Yes,
you.
of course.
Do
Okay.
you know which topic or theme you will choose?
Biological topic, yeah, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. I can magnify light microscope.
Light microscope.
Yes.
Thank you very much. All right. And I got him. Did you already gave a presentation? I forget now. Did you do it before I got him?
Not yet.
Would you please be kind enough and volunteer one of those 3 days?
Okay, it's Thursday.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anara, you certainly did. Lazat, you did. Marjan, you did. So I think, and nobody else is here. Do you think anybody could ask Ms. Palauza to?
Yes, Miss Palauza can presentate on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday.
All right. Well, let's put Ms. Palauza and Laura on Wednesday, and then and that way, if Laura can't do Wednesday, Ms. Palauza can. Is that okay?
Okay.
Thank you all very much.
Yeah,
all right. All right. So now 1 second, please. Oh, yes. So we close today, today's session with something essentially on conversation, And here you can see that it's going to start off with a dictogloss. We don't have enough time to finish this completely, but the dictogloss requires you to get a pen and paper and write down something that I say to you, not so many words, but the problem for you will be that I read it really rather quickly. So if you can get yourself a pen and paper, please. Quite short.
I don't understand your question, Mr. Tim.
Yes, Ms. Lazat, can you take a pen and a piece of paper or an exercise book?
Okay.
I'm going to dictate a short passage, and I just would like you to write it down as accurately, as correctly as you can from what you hear me say. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. So I imagine you're all ready now. It's about school.
Repeat.
It's the topic is school. So where you teach now, but also when you were yourself at school, when you were a child, we can say. I begin. It seems people have very different experiences of school. Some find it good preparation for life. Others find the exams difficult and the subjects irrelevant. Maths and English are the main subjects here, but it is also important to study practical subjects like science and information technology. There can be a lot of homework, and many pupils dislike the discipline and the uniform. But with a good teacher, lessons can be interesting and educational. It all depends on the people in the classroom. That's the finish, that's the end of the passage. So I'll just give you a moment to check what you have written. Now I'm going to read it again, but I'm going to read it very, very quickly. Very, very quickly.
Mr. Chima, I don't understand. We have to write what we understand, or
You have to write
every word.
every single word.
Ah,
Yes.
can you repeat? I don't
Of course.
understand.
Of course. Can I just ask, did any of the other teachers already understand, and have you already started to write?
Yes, I understand how
Thank
to do.
Yes, of course. Okay. So I'm not sure now, Irene, whether to go faster or slow or normal speed. So anyway, you understand what we're doing. So let me go again. Here we go, everybody. It seems people have very different experiences of school. Some find it good preparation for life. Others find the exams difficult and the subjects irrelevant. Maths and English are the main subjects here, but it is also important to study practical subjects like science and information technology. There can be a lot of homework and many pupils dislike the discipline and the uniform. But with a good teacher, lessons can be interesting and educational. It all depends on the people in the classroom. And now one or maybe two of you will probably have a pretty good copy of that now, but I'll just give the others a minute to check what they think they've forgotten. And I'll read it one last time at very fast speed. This will just enable you to fill in the odd missing gap. I begin. It seems people have very different experiences of school. Some find it good preparation for life. Others find the exams difficult and the subjects irrelevant. Maths and English are the main subjects here, but it is also important to study practical subjects like science and information technology. There can be a lot of homework and many pupils dislike the discipline and the uniform, but with a good teacher, lessons can be interesting and educational. It all depends on the people in the classroom. End. All right. Now, I'm just wondering, maybe, who shall I ask first? Could I check Miss Marjan? Marjan, how have you done? Do you think you have many words correctly? What do you think? Do you think you have enough that you can read back to me now, Marjan? Please, can you read to me? Or if you prefer not next, but afterwards, just say not next, but afterwards. Miss Marjan, what do you say?
I can, Mr. Tim.
Ms. Lazad, I thought you would offer. I thank you. And yes, please. Please start.
It seems different other difficult, important information, technology, educational, classroom, people, relevant, also practical, uniform, depends.
Thank you. The end, yes?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Could I ask, louder, have you been able to hear okay? Are you able to tell us what you have? Can you hear us, Laura? Are you there? Miss Laura? No? Okay. Miss Marajan, do you feel like it now or not yet?
I have less words than less that.
Ms. Marjan, it is not a competition. It's okay. So please tell me.
Yes, it's okay.
Tell me what you have.
It seems people have very math, English, practical subjects, but good teachers. Bulda, enough.
Enough. Good. I think probably you have picked out the key important phrases. And I'm going to ask Aygedem, please, could you tell us what you have, Aygedem? Are you there, Aygedem?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you able to tell us what you have, to read out what you have, please?
Okay. It seems people have different, people have very different experiences to reading or to something. I don't know. And some people found it difficult and irrelevant. And here, math and English are main subjects. Also, they study practical subjects like science and information technology. There can be a lot of homework, and many students dislike this discipline and uniform. But with a good teacher, lessons might be interesting, but it depends. But also, it depends on all of the people in a classroom.
Very good. Thank you very much. Very good. So everybody has responded at their own appropriate level. And I don't know, some of you may be feeling a little bit tired after that, but it's very, very good exercise for handwriting, thinking, coordination, listening, all mixed together. I think Darkan may have rejoined us. Are you there, Darkan? Oh, he's gone again. I thought he had.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Did you
yes, I proved that my phone is kicking me out from the conference.
Oh.
That it's very stupid phone.
He's lying.
So I entered and the connection was very bad. So your voice was like this.
Yes, okay. Well, Lazat told me actually you had gone to the cafe for a cup of tea.
No, it doesn't work even.
I'm joking. I'm joking. All right. So you didn't have a chance to hear the.
I was hearing everything, but I couldn't write because I have no pen with myself.
I
wanted, as my student says, the students say that I wanted, but I had no pen.
Yeah, and you listen to them and you say, "Oh, really? Oh, really?" A teacher without a pen, that doesn't exist. Anyway, okay. Well, for those of you who participated, well done. Well done. And now, one last little exercise to occupy us today. From your own school days, I'm going to just switch back on the screen share here. And I've made the beginning of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kinds of word connected with school days or school. And each one has a different grammatical function. So what kind of word is the word head teacher? Anybody? Is it a verb? Is it a preposition? What is it?
It's a noun.
It is. And what about learn?
So to learn, verb.
Good. And difficult?
Adjective.
Good. By?
Preposition.
Good. Well?
Don't know.
Any other teacher? What kind of word is well?
Also adjective. No.
No. Aygedem, are you there?
Adverb.
It's adverb. Yes, it's an adverb. It modifies the verb. And of course, not many people realize this, but an adverb can also modify an adjective. We think adverb, oh yes, it modifies a verb. But if we say he did that quite quickly, quickly is the adverb, but actually, so is quite. So here's a little exercise. So we've got in the first column, nouns, second column, verbs, third column, adjectives, fourth column, prepositions, fifth column, adverbs. Can anyone tell me another noun from school or school days? Any other noun? I mean, let me help you. I'll put in desk.
For example, book, desk,
Pencil.
That's it. Pencil.
whiteboard.
Yes, whiteboard. Workbook.
Hold on. Yeah, do you know what we call a word book? We call it
Work.
oh, work. Okay. I thought
Work. Book.
good. And I thought you meant atlas. Do you know
Atlas. Yes, we have in Russian atlas the same.
how interesting. Now, what about
Skills.
yes, of course. Move over to verbs.
Assessment.
Can we have Marjan? I'll put it in. Can we have a verb, please, Marjan?
Learn, study.
Yeah.
Assess, yes.
Explain.
Teach.
Prove.
Prove. Solve.
Yeah.
Justify.
Nice.
Justify.
Oops.
Explain. Draw. Sketch.
We've got explained.
Тогда
Draw.
Draw, yes. And one more. Sketch, did somebody say?
Yes. Sketch.
The thing about sketch, it is not only a verb, it's also a noun. Have a look at adjectives. Related adjectives.
Smart.
Nice.
Good.
Very important word, good.
Perfect.
Even better word.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lazat will take exact.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Exactly is an adverb, yes. Another adjective?
Smart, good, perfect. Не деген бар ғой еще.
Here's one for you.
Bad, maybe.
Did you say bad?
Noise.
Noisy. How about silent? That lovely word.
Silent. Silent.
All right, let's go to prepositions. By, in, we've got what else?
On.
Yes.
At.
Yes, and Dar, can you say?
On, off. With. Without. In. Do you have
In есть for.
behind?
Verbs.
Adverbs, да?
Quickly. Very popular teacher phrase in English is quickly.
Slowly.
Of course.
Quickly, slowly.
Oh, here's one. Carefully.
Carefully.
Okay. Now, we've just got a few minutes left and we have a good selection of words. And I would like to ask any teacher to think for a minute about something from when they were at school, when you were at school, that maybe the word teacher or head teacher reminds you of a story, or any of these words. Hurry. Did you have a teacher that used to say hurry? Did you have a topic that you always found difficult? Did you ever go to school without your lunch or without your books? Did you ever find a mathematics problem that was so tricky it caused a problem? I just want you to think for a moment or two and say, aha, I remember, and then one or two sentences. And we don't have enough time probably for everybody, but let's try. So I'm going to invite Darkan. Could you start us off, please, Darkan, with an amusing sentence, maybe true or false? We will never know. Using these words as much as possible. Could you do that, Darkan? Just pick a story either from your present life as a teacher or your past life as a student. Darkan's gone, I think. Maybe I can ask. In fact, there's only Laura and Marjan left. Laura, can you hear? So everybody has left early.
We are only, yeah, only I.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yes, Marjan. Marjan, can you tell me a sentence?
Sentence.
I can, for example, I can say to you, I remember once when my head teacher said to me, can you explain why you are a smart boy, but your work is not always perfect? For example, I made a sentence in my imagination. Can you make a sentence from your imagination?
I remember my students' course book.
Good.
Where they prove problems as in a smart way. In smart way, I can.
You said it in a smart way. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. I remember my students' course.
In smart way.
In a smart way.
In a smart way.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yes, it's fine, Marjan. Well done, well done. Ms. Marjan, you're the last teacher here, so I thank you. I think we say therefore, thanks for the work. I hope it was useful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye, Ms. Marjan.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, thank you.